guys, today we got the best sneakers dropping in July that you need to know about. Sneaker game is just getting messy, and is Adidas currently jumping over Nike? Welcome to Sneaky Sunday. Today's a pretty crazy one. We don't actually have too much to recap. I know that there's been a lot going on, especially with Paris Fashion Week and a lot of exclusives, but in terms of like global releases that everybody could get, the only one I can think of is the Jordan 1 Shattered Backboard. Now, obviously, these do have a main global release coming up. It's either July the 12th or August the 23rd, but they did have a little shock drop. This took place on the 27th of June, so I believe that was Friday. It seemed like there was a decent amount of pairs. I don't know. Let me know if you managed to get them. Again, if you're trying to get after them, July the 12th or August 23rd. Jordan Brand did an entire crazy drone show for these things, which I thought was super cool. Like, take a look at this. They posted this on IG, and it's basically Jordan dunking and then shattering the backboard all through drones. Like, what the hell's going on here? This is sick. It also shows that like they're really trying to push this pair of shoes, make sure everybody knows about it. It's a big deal. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Are you excited about the Jordan 1 Shattered Backboard? Right, but jumping into this upcoming stuff, we got some July releases that we need to run through. Here's the best sneakers that's going to be dropping, and there's a few gems in there, but I think for the most part, like, I mean, the months after July is looking pretty crazy, so you may want to save your money. July 1st, Jordan Brand is jumping into the luxury sector, or at least this is some kind of high fashion duffel bag. It looks pretty sick. $150, which if you compare it to other stuff in this category, I guess is like not too bad. Comes with a little Jordan keychain, which I think is actually pretty dope. It's embroidered with the 23 logo, or I guess just kind of stitched in there, so it's like a monogram print. You get a little Wings logo over there in silver. We're also doing a little tote bag as well, which is quite nice. Let me know if anybody's going to be going for the duffel bag, or oh wait, okay, there's more. We got a little side bag over here as well. I did not see this one. Oh, and we got a backpack as well. Actually, the backpack might be the way to go. This thing does look pretty sick. Damn, okay, so a whole bag collection. Also dropping on the 1st, we got the Kobe Air Force 1. Now, I know that they're dropping a ton of Air Forces, like we just had the yellow ones. Then we had like another pair of white ones, but we're getting another white one. This one does seem a little bit more cool though. You've got 8 and 24 embroidered on the back. You get the Kobe logo, and then the shoe itself is just covered in like a snake's print, which I think is obviously, you know, Kobe, that's kind of the thing. Doesn't look bad. I think I would have taken the yellow ones over these. They just seemed a lot more premium, but like for a white Air Force One, something that's like super wearable with those like Kobe hints in there, this is pretty dope. Retail $130, but this is not the only Air Force we're getting. Now, I'm not entirely sure if this one's exactly dropping in July, but this is a Barcelona Kobe Air Force One triple collab. So this one does, for the most part, have a lot of the same construction, where you're getting like the snake print all over the upper. Comes in a purple, obviously, except no Lakers colors in there, so no yellow, so it's got the black accents, which I like. You got the FC Barcelona on the tongue, which is definitely prominent. You got the Kobe logo on the sole, nice touch. They had that on the other ones as well. More Barcelona on the insole. It looks like this insole is also going to be that React X stuff that they put in the yellow pair. You also get a giant Kobe logo around the back. Yeah, these are going to be a little bit more, $150. They're dropping at some point this year. Not entirely sure if it's going to be July, but I imagine relatively soon. Big release that's happening in July. This one's going to be dropping or debuting on the 12th, and that is the all-new Air Jordan 40, which has a lot of people excited. This is like a signature Jordan that they do every single year, but the 40th version seems to really have people hyped up about it. Not mad at this one either. Like, I think it looks very updated. It looks like something that's more current. It also has a lot of current tech inside. You can kind of see by this breakdown over here, it's got the Zoom X foam and then the Zoom Strobel board. So a lot of pieces here that look like it's going to be very good for performance. So this is the colorway that's going to be debuting on July the 12th. Problem here is that this is a pretty premium pair of shoes because they're charging $205 for them. And this is like when currently so many other brands are dropping like really good basketball shoes for that like $100 price point. So it'll be interesting to see how many people choose these over like a lot of the competition, but this is the first colorway, and then we're getting a blue suede one, which is this over here. Just a slight, you know, little tint of blue suede, but very similar to the originals. These are dropping August the 20th, and then we're also going to be getting in September this dusty pink colorway, I think they're calling it, or dusty, what is it, dusty cactus, something like that. It's pink. This one switches it up for like a patent leather type material, so there's going to be like different things involved here. But let me know your thoughts on the Jordan 40. Are you hyped about it? Is this a pair of basketball shoes that you would try? Another big Jordan release is going to be on the 19th, or July the 19th. That is the Air Jordan 8 Aqua, a big returning retro sneaker, which a lot of people are hyped about. This is it over here, so you can see if you like them or not in terms of like compared to the originals. There are a few slight changes. I believe this gray suede is a little bit lighter, but it's hard to tell because the last one's like released, I think it was like a decent amount of time ago. This is definitely going to be the most faithful to the original Jordan 8 Aqua that we've ever had. There's two more Jordans that are going to be dropping, the Pure Money 3s. These are quite nice. July the 3rd, $205. And we also got the rare Air Jordan 4s, which I just feel like, I mean, I thought these dropped ages ago. Maybe there was like some kind of region split, but yeah, this is happening on July the 26th for $220. Not mad at it, but like we're getting a lot of crazy Jordan 4s this year, like Black Cats, the Cavestone Jordan 4s are looking really good. Undefeated 4, so it's like, you know, you spending that $220 on these, or you're just saving as much as possible for those releases. Now, also dropping in July is the Levi's Nike collaboration, 3 different colorways of the Nike Air Max 95, but we've spoke about that, so I wanted to show you this, which is a friends and family pair, which looked pretty cool. So they've added some like extra details on here. I don't think it has like the prominent Levi features, like on the tongue it just says Air Max. Obviously you're still getting the denim, which is, you know, obviously very Levi's, which is kind of like raw edged and everything. Still looks super premium. You do get the Levi's tag on the side over here. This does look to be the big bubble variation. I think one of the most cool things about this is the insoles. You got like, you know, really retro Levi's branding over here, which I think looks dope. This is friends and family only, so this is the mythical pair that they're dropping. The other 3 I think are also going to be kind of like some maybe exclusive to different, you know, like Levi's stores or something like that, but either way, the black, the blue, and the white are all going to be dropping July the 11th for $205. Now, one of the most anticipated and hyped up GR sneakers of the entire year, and I gotta be honest, it's one of my favorites. I've been wearing them for a solid couple weeks now, and that is the New Balance 2000. We're getting 2 more colorways very soon. So first up is the black metallic, or the dark silver metallic. This one over here, which I think is really clean. It's just, you know, murdered out except for that midsole where it still really highlights those absorb pods. We have taken a look at this before, but these are the official images. I think a really solid way to go, especially if you pass on the blue colorway. This one's a lot more, I guess, wearable. It's just, you know, blacked out. These are going to be dropping July the 10th alongside this colorway, which I gotta say, I think I prefer these even more. This one, again, is a kind of, you know, silver metallic type one, the antithesis to the black pair. This one highlights that midsole even more. You've got 2 great options to choose from if you wanted to try out the New Balance 2000. Super comfortable, $170. I don't think you'll regret it if you pick them up. And that is mainly it for July releases, so let's move on to some ones that are a little bit further down the line. First up, we got the Bad Bunny Adidas Gazelle Indoor in Wonder Clay. This is a new colorway, so nothing really different here. It's just the same gazelle that we saw on like the blue and the white pair. Not bad, not amazing, nothing that really gets me excited. I think we're all waiting on, you know, Bad Bunny's signature sneaker, which should be dropping this year as well. Either way, if you did want this colorway, it's going to be dropping on August the 1st as of right now, which is at some point in August for $140. Now, another one I want to briefly mention is the Ma Maniere Jordan 5s, which should be dropping soon. Like, it's still a summer release, so it's kind of got to drop, you know, either in July or August, but unfortunately, we still do not have a release date. We got like so many pictures of these things, whether it's on foot, in hand, early images, official images, but we're just waiting on that confirmation of an exact date. These things are, they're looking clean, but again, not really something that I'm like desperate to get my hands on, especially within like the sea of cool stuff that's dropping this year. Retail is $225. Let me know if you're going to be going for these, and as soon as we get any more updates on an actual release date, I'll let you guys know. Right, talking about probably one of my most anticipated sneakers of the entire year, and a lot of people's, we gotta talk about what Adidas is cooking up with this Pharrell Jellyfish. So, Paris Fashion Week had a bunch of different colorways on display. There was a bunch of people wearing them. We know that they did like a little early launch of like a white and gray colorway, but here's the triple black one in HD, looking insane if you ask me. These things are so freaking cool. The pain point here is the retail price, and I think that's what a lot of people are gonna get hung up on. $300 is pretty wild. But I mean, hey, this is very different. It's almost like a weird exoskeleton design on a super chunky model that just really does look good. I know a lot of people are comparing this to like Balenciaga or like some kind of XLG version of a sneaker, but I really like it, and I cannot wait to try these things out and see if they're like decently comfortable, if they look good with different outfits. And honestly, this is where I'm starting to see like Adidas coming out with a lot of really new cool models that people are super excited about. And it's like, we haven't really had that from Nike. Like, we had the Pegasus Premium, there was like a new model, people got excited about that, but like Nike still here in 2025 seems to just be relying on retro so heavily that like new stuff, it doesn't give me the same vibe as like what New Balance is doing with the 2000, Adidas is doing with this sneaker. Like, people are seriously excited for new models, which is cool. Either way, we've got another colorway, which is this blue one, probably my favorite. I definitely like the lighter colors. It really shows off this exoskeleton, just like wild design. All of these should be dropping this year sometime. I think the debut colorway is going to be dropping this fall, so right around the corner. I'm gonna try and pick them up as soon as I possibly can. Let you guys know what I think. Let me know what you think about the Jellyfish down in the comment section, and would you pay $300 for it? Now, again, Adidas been going crazy, and they did one of the coolest little collaborations, or I guess like showcased it again at Paris Fashion Week, and that is with Willy Chavaria. So they have collaborated before, but these new sneakers are insane. So they did this whole like, I guess this like fashion walk, what do you call it? A runway walk with different sneakers, different clothing. James Harden was part of it. So here's some of the sneakers. This one right over here, this is like, I don't know what they're calling it, the Mega Ride Trainer or something like that. Dope. Colorway, a little bit too loud, but the sneaker, dope. Then we're getting this pink colorway, again, super clean, love it. A lot of the clothing pieces look dope as well, but you're not ready for the next one. This one's my personal favorite and something that I just think is like, I mean, this is my type of sneaker. This one over here. Take a look at that. What in the world? That is so cool. So again, similar sneakers like the Mega Ride AG or something like that. I can't remember what they're exactly calling it, but this one has like some kind of alien cage on top. It looks sick. This is a sneaker I'm desperately gonna try and get my hands on. Now, like I said, James Harden was also dripped out in this stuff. His sneaker model that he was wearing was like a little bit, wasn't too excited about that. But yeah, like look at the sneakers that they're wearing. These things are crazy. Super, super cool. Loving this collaboration. Excited to actually see what it looks like. Hopefully the retail price isn't too crazy. But this is supposed to be, I think, part of their spring summer 26. So it'll probably launch next year. Let me know what you think about this down in the comments. So more stuff debuted in Paris. We got Clint 419, so obviously the owner of Cortez. If you didn't know, he just debuted a premium goods Nike Air Max 1 collaboration, which is looking pretty premium if you ask me. A bunch of leather on these things. So it looks like it's got like split paneling around all of the different stuff, like super colorful, green, beige, red, yellow, blue. It looks like it's completely leather, so like even on the toe box, this is like a perforated leather material. Same thing around the sides. Pretty dope. Not bad if you ask me. These should be dropping this summer, so very, very soon, within the next couple months, but no specific release date. This is all we've seen as of right now, so if we get any more updates, I'll let you guys know. Another cool Adidas collaboration. This is a Y3 premium basketball sneaker. Title here is, this is what a luxury Adidas basketball sneaker looks like, and I gotta be honest, it seems very, very cool, like way better than a lot of the other Y3 sneakers that I've seen. So I believe the original model is the Adidas Top 10 2000 or something like that. You could see it in the midsole. Like, I definitely know this sneaker. It was like a Kobe shoe, or like Kobe wore it at some point. I definitely remember it, but the entire upper is completely different. So you've got like Y3 in this like puff material, like embossed or debossed, whatever the word is. You've got like some kind of elasticated straps in replacement of laces. It's all over leather. It looks super cool. I like this sail colorway a lot. These are the official images. They should be dropping relatively soon. House of Heat is saying fall 2025. I imagine retail price is going to be ridiculous, like most Y3 sneakers, but nevertheless, it's a cool model that I like the look of. All right, one more Adidas Glaze story. We got Bape and Adidas teaming up on the Harmony, the Adistar Harmony, a pair of shoes that I'm a huge fan of. I've spoke about them on the channel multiple times. This is a 2026 release, but I really like what they did with this. So look how they did the signature Bape teeth on the side, like on the midsole. It looks super cool. It's kind of like incorporated into the design. Obviously on the upper you get a bunch of that camo print. We know that. It looks like a slightly elevated version though, with like really nice materials on the sock liner and the upper. The side profile, that's where things get really cool. If you didn't know, this is like one of Adidas's most comfortable models. So if you like Bape, if you're a fan of, you know, their aesthetic, then I think, you know, riding around in comfort in these things is a pretty cool idea. Either way, we got plenty of time to wait around for these things. 2026 drop, so let's keep it moving. OG Chase B and Travis Scott just teased their little friends and family collaboration on the Jumpman Jack. So we know the GR version is coming very, very soon. It has like the gray suede and everything. These ones just look covered in that, like, what do you call this? Ostrich leather, I believe. It's got some black suede on it as well. It looks like it's got metal eye stays, like at least for the holes. It's blacked out except for that midsole and outsole, which is going to be a glow in the dark color. Honestly, I actually prefer the GR ones, the ones that we're getting. I know that these are probably a lot more premium and it's kind of cool that they're all blacked out, but I do like the gray contrast and the pink or tan highlights that one had. So I'm not too mad at this, friends and family. Glad we're getting this one over here. Yeah, this one's just a little bit more out there. I kind of like it. Let me know if you had to choose, which one would you take, the friends and family or the GR one? We just got first looks at actually a really cool pair of Jordan 1s dropping right around the corner. Actually, this is the Baroque brown colorway, which does look pretty premium. It's a colorway that, yes, Jordan and Nike have been using for quite a while now whenever the earth tone craze came in, but I do really like the all over leather, simple, clean look of this sneaker. Honestly, the way that like Jordan 1s have been going, you could just be like, cool, this is a pair of shoes that if I like the look of, don't want to pay full retail price on, if it goes on sale, I might pick these things up. September the 9th is the drop date as of right now, and I think it's pretty clean. Honestly, if these things do drop from that 180, retail price, I will be picking these things up for sure. Couple 2026 updates. First one is the Nike Zoom Hyperflight is now expected to return next year, spring 2026. Not too much information on this. It's gonna be, I think $145. This is just one of the older colorways that we've seen, so we don't have like any updates or anything like that. Small amount of information, but if you were a fan of this pair of shoes, look forward to it returning. We just got first looks at the third colorway of the Union Fragment Air Jordan 1 High. This is the Sport Royal pair that I believe the owner of Fragment was wearing at Paris Fashion Week. This is a February 6th release in 2026. And again, there's 3 pairs, so we're not entirely sure how they're going to release it. If 1 or 2 of them is going to be friends and family, or like maybe one's a Union exclusive, one's a Fragment exclusive, and then the other one's a Nike exclusive. We'll have to wait and see, but this is one of them, so very, very sale. And I'm hoping a lot of this like wear and tear is actually because he's been wearing it and not how it's going to come, because these things are looking dusty. Like, look at the creases around the toe box. Like, it's like, looks like it's crunched up. It's kind of got like that, when you wear a pair of Jordan 1s for a while, then it kind of like warps, so the toe peeks up. The laces look cooked. I don't even know how bro laced them. He like skipped a hole every single time. There's mad scuffing around the sides. It looks like it's going to be heavily distressed, unless he's just been putting miles into these things, which in that case, fair enough. Here's a little look at the 3 colorways that we're going to be getting. This one obviously is the one that we just took a look at, so a little bit different than this mock-up. For all intents and purposes, we're getting this one, which I think is my favorite and a lot of people's, because it's actually something a little bit different. You're getting like Royal, some Chicago in there, and then the top one is the very, very basic one, just basically black and white. All 3 are going to be extremely hype. All 3 are going to be something that a lot of people want. As soon as we get any more information, maybe some official images or something like that, I will let you guys know. Right, final story. This has been something that's just kind of taking over the sneaker game right now. Everybody's interested in it. It's the whole Urban Necessities and 2J's situation or crisis. The thing is with this story, it really highlights like a lot of points of like the broader scheme of the sneaker game that is really hurting right now. First one is the shoe surgeon. I think the point here is that a lot more sneaker customizers have been hit hard, and that's mostly because of Nike. Nike has handed out lawsuits over the past couple of years, so you don't really get sneaker customizers anymore. How we used to get them in like 2020 when they were rampant. Second is sneaker stores. Like, sneaker stores have been shutting down left, right, and center. Obviously, we know that like the general hype and demand for sneakers is not what it used to be, so a lot of these sneaker stores were like built up and opened during the super top part of the sneaker game. Now that things are kind of normalizing or coming down, they're having to file for bankruptcy or just close doors. So the situation has a few updates. I know we spoke about this either on Wednesday or Sunday, but there's a few little developments between this whole 2J's and the shoe surgeon deal. So to quickly recap, Urban Necessities is one of the biggest sneaker resale stores, especially in Las Vegas. It's massive. It's huge. Now, it's a consignment store, so a lot of customers sell their shoes through the store. And the trouble really started when people started accusing Urban Necessities necessities of not paying consigners, the people who gave them the sneakers to sell. So the founder, 2J's Kicks, he kind of stepped back because his wife unfortunately has cancer. So he decided to take a step back from the business, and he decided to team up with the shoe surgeon, who came in and kind of took over the business. So the main fallout is, in very basic terms, that 2J's basically said that he was pushed out of the company and he wasn't involved, however still had like a lot of the financial liability of the business and stuff like that. He said that he had no control over like the ins and outs of the business, and he says that he's basically responsible for the company's debt. That's how crazy this contract was that he signed. So 2J's basically made a video. He blamed the shoe surgeon and their whole like, business. He said that they're like shady people. The shoe surgeon clapped back and said that no, it's all 2J's fault. He was posting on Instagram where he actually pulled up 2 Urban Necessities and was kind of showing what was going on. It was very hard to kind of like understand what was actually happening because he was talking the whole time. We never really got to hear like what these people were doing, because he was kind of highlighting the fact that they had like truckloads of sneakers that they were moving out. And I guess 2J's was kind of saying like, what are you doing with the consigners' shoes? Like, are you getting rid of them? Are you liquidating them and leaving all of these consigners out of pocket? But it's like, it's unclear exactly what was going on, because these could also just be people picking up their sneakers that they were, consigning with Urban Necessities. At least that's how I interpreted this video. Again, this is the timeline that we spoke about, all of the different details from May of 2022 to June of 2025, when things kind of came to light and everything kind of fell apart. But then in one of the craziest turns, Urban Necessities Director of Finance addresses 2J's Kicks and all of the latest videos that he was posting, basically telling his side of the story. So this is a comment that they actually made. It was, I can't remember, I think her name is Kayla or something, but she was the, like I said, the Director of Finance of Urban Necessities. So she made this massive comment, essentially saying that 2J's took $190,000 from the company, saying that he took truckloads of inventory from the store, stealing pinball machines. Apparently the business still pays for the mortgage on his house. She says that he's got a victim mentality, saying that he speaks to his wife badly. So it's getting really messy, it's getting really weird, and it's really unclear of like who to blame. Maybe they both are to blame, like 2J's made a bad business deal, but all I know is that this is still ongoing. And in my opinion, the whole takeaway is just kind of looking at like where the sneaker game has gone for these 2 aspects of like pretty big pillars of the sneaker game, like customizers and creatives, and then also like sneaker resale stores, which has been like a massive thing for the past 5 years. Either way, as of right now, no consigners have been paid. I think they're all still waiting on their money or their sneakers. If we get any more updates on this, I will let you guys know, but it's looking crazy. Either way, guys, that wraps it up for this week's Sneaky Sunday. Don't forget, we do this every single Sunday, so subscribe to the channel so you can always stay up to date and in the loop. And of course, if you want to catch another video, there's a banger right in that corner. Check it out.